Some lights on the coast aren't meant to guide ships. They are traps. And if you see this glow in the fog, turn back. From the witch trials of Salem to the graveyard of the Atlantic in the Outer Banks, these are the 12 haunted coastal towns in America. Number 1. Montauk, New York. Montauk, at the tip of Long Island, looks like a peaceful coastal retreat. But beneath the beauty of its lighthouse and breezy shores lies a story that feels pulled from a sci-fi thriller. Tucked behind fences and overgrown trails is Camp Hero, an old military base that's become the heart of one of America's strangest legends. This story begins with the so-called Montauk Project, an alleged government program said to involve mind control, time travel, and opening portals to other worlds. Some claim that a boy with psychic powers accidentally unleashed a creature from another dimension. This beast, described as a towering, shadowy figure, supposedly escaped into the woods and was never seen again.
I have seen weird things around this area.
Years later, a strange animal carcass washed up on Montauk's beach in 2008. With a beak-like snout and hairless skin, people couldn't explain what it was. Locals connected it to the Camp Hero rumors, and suddenly, the legend flared up all over again. Was the creature real, or just another warning that the past isn't as buried as we think? Today, Montauk still draws visitors for its surf and seafood, but those who wander near Camp Hero say the air feels different.
Some things you can't explain or bury.
Number 2. Port Townsend, Washington. Port Townsend sits on the misty edge of Washington's Olympic Peninsula. With Victorian buildings and rolling fog, it feels like the perfect setting for a ghost story, and it just so happens to have plenty. The most famous haunt of the town is the Palace Hotel, once a brothel during the town's wilder days, and some say one of its most well-known ladies never checked out. Her name is Claire, and guests of the hotel often report seeing her ghost. Dressed in turn-of-the-century clothes, she's been spotted standing at the top of the staircase or peering from windows long after midnight. Lights flicker, footsteps echo in empty hallways, and mirrors sometimes reflect more than just your own face. Yet, oddly, Claire's spirit doesn't feel cruel, just curious. The hauntings don't stop at the hotel. Down by the wharf and near the old Fort Worden bunkers, visitors say they feel sudden cold spots or hear faint whispers on the breeze. In a town that saw shipwrecks, sailor brawls, and mysterious disappearances, it's no surprise that some stories never faded away. Today, Port Townsend embraces its haunted past. Ghost tours wind through the cobbled streets, and the fog seems to roll in just right at twilight. Whether you believe in spirits or not, there's no denying that the town holds something eerie, something watching just beyond the mist. Number 3. Outer Banks, North Carolina. On the far edge of North Carolina lies Ocracoke Island, a wind-swept slice of land wrapped in sea and stories. The most famous legend here belongs to none other than the pirate Blackbeard, who made Ocracoke one of his favorite hideouts. In 1718, his reign of terror ended just offshore, in a bloody battle with the British Navy.
curse this land and all who sail upon her.
But some say his ghost still roams these sands, searching for something or someone. Locals speak of a headless shadow that wanders the beach at night, lanterns swinging in hand. They say it's Blackbeard himself, cursed to roam the spot where he lost his head. At times, ship captains have refused to dock after dark, claiming to see ghostly shapes on the water. Others swear they hear phantom cannon fire echoing through the fog, centuries after the last battle ended. But it's not just Blackbeard who lingers. Ocracoke's isolated graveyards and old inns carry whispers of their own. Some say the spirits of shipwreck victims wander in search of home. Others have seen figures vanish into the dunes. It's as if the island remembers every soul that ever stepped foot there and holds them close. Ocracoke today remains one of the East Coast's most magical and mysterious places. Whether you come for the legend of the pirate or the quiet beauty of the coast, it's hard not to feel something watching from the waves, something very old and very patient. Number 4. Salem, Massachusetts. When most people hear Salem, they think of witches, and for good reason. In 1692, this quiet seaside town became the center of a terrifying chapter in American history, the Salem witch trials. Over just a few months, fear and suspicion swept the town, leading to the execution of 20 people accused of witchcraft. Today, many believe that the spirits of those victims still linger, trapped in the place where justice went horribly wrong. Wander through Salem's cobbled streets, and you'll feel a chill, even on sunny days. At the old Burying Point Cemetery, visitors report seeing shadowy figures and hearing whispers among the gravestones. Some claim to have seen the ghost of Giles Corey, a man crushed to death during the trials.
The curse is upon you all.
Legend says he appears before bad luck strikes the town, a grim warning from the past. Inside the witch house, once home to a judge of the trials, guests say lights flicker and cold spots appear out of nowhere. Tour guides have even refused to go upstairs alone. Locals believe the very walls remember the screams and secrets of a town that lost its way. Salem is a town that embraces its haunted legacy, but behind the shops and Halloween fun, there's a deep and eerie truth. Salem reminds us how fear can turn neighbor against neighbor, and how some stories never stay buried. Number 5. New London Ledge Lighthouse, Connecticut. Standing alone on a rocky ledge in Long Island Sound, the New London Ledge Lighthouse looks like the perfect postcard. But behind its charming red walls lies one of New England's eeriest sea tales. Built in 1909, the lighthouse was once manned by a keeper named Ernie, until tragedy struck. One version says Ernie jumped into the sea after his wife left him. Another claims something darker happened. Since Ernie's death, keepers who stayed overnight reported strange happenings.
Did you hear that? It's coming from above.
Doors slam on their own, tools vanish, and lights flicker without warning. Some even heard heavy footsteps pacing above them, only to find the floor empty. One keeper became so frightened, he demanded to be picked up early by boat. The Coast Guard eventually automated the lighthouse, but even now, Ernie may still be there. Technicians say alarms go off with no cause, and some refuse to stay overnight. It's as if Ernie, heartbroken and forgotten, never truly left his post. Today, boaters passing the lighthouse often look up, wondering if someone's watching from the windows.
He won't let me sleep, and he's still here.
Number 6. St. Simon's Island, Georgia. St. Simon's Island is known for its beauty. Ancient oaks draped in Spanish moss, golden beaches, and quiet marshes. But beneath the calm surface is a legend that keeps the island's nights full of mystery: the Lantern Lady. Her story is one of love, loss, and a light that never fades.
I will wait for you forever on this shore.
Long ago, the Lantern Lady would walk the shores with a lantern, waiting for her fiancé, a sailor lost at sea. Each night, she would return to the same spot, hoping to see his ship sail home. But he never came back, and the woman eventually passed away. Still, her lonely vigil didn't end there. Locals say her spirit continues to roam the beach, lantern in hand.
She is calling me from the dunes.
Some visitors claim to see a glowing light floating just above the sand on foggy nights. Others have heard soft footsteps and felt a sudden chill while standing near the water's edge. The light always fades before you can reach it, like a memory that slips through your fingers. Today, St. Simon's is peaceful and welcoming, but the Lantern Lady reminds everyone that the sea doesn't always give back what it takes. Her story lives on in whispered tales, and if you walk the beach after dark, don't be surprised if you spot a flickering light dancing across the waves. Number 7. Cape May, New Jersey. Cape May be known today for its charming Victorian homes and sunny beaches, but not everything here is as peaceful as it seems. This coastal gem is also one of the most haunted towns in America, with whispers of ghostly footsteps and flickering lights echoing through its old inns and houses. One of the most talked about haunts, the spirit at the Southern Mansion. The Southern Mansion was built in the 1860s and later fell into disrepair before being lovingly restored. But during renovations, workers began reporting strange activity, cold spots, shadows moving on their own, and music playing from empty rooms. The legend says it's the ghost of Esther, a woman who once lived there and still keeps watch over her home.
This is my home, and I will protect it.
Beyond the mansion, Cape May's streets hold stories of sailors lost at sea and hearts left waiting. Guests at local B&Bs often talk about seeing figures in period clothing vanish around corners, or feeling like someone brushed past them when no one was there. Even the Cape May Lighthouse has a ghost.
I swear I saw her on the water's edge.
A woman seen staring out toward the ocean, waiting for someone who never returned. Number 8. Pawleys Island, South Carolina. Tucked along the South Carolina coast lies Pawleys Island, a quiet place known for its marshes and old southern charm. But it's also home to one of the Low Country's most famous ghosts, the Gray Man. For over 200 years, people have claimed to see his mysterious figure appear just before hurricanes strike the island. The legend says the Gray Man was once a sailor who died in a shipwreck, and now his spirit returns to warn others.
The tide is wrong. The wind is wrong.
The tide is coming in. We don't have much time.
Dressed in gray, he walks the shoreline silently, never speaking a word. Locals say if you spot him, your home will be spared from the coming storm, an eerie but comforting sign in the face of danger. He's been spotted before major storms, like Hurricane Hugo and others throughout the 20th century. Witnesses describe him vanishing into thin air, leaving behind a sense of calm. No one really knows who he was, but his story has become part of the island's soul, passed down through generations. Pawleys Island may be small, but it holds a legend bigger than itself. When storm clouds gather and the wind begins to howl, many still look to the beach, hoping to see the Gray Man, and maybe, just maybe, be spared by his silent protection. Number 9. Newport, Rhode Island. Newport's harbor is filled with beauty, history, and some say ghosts. Once a booming colonial port, Newport is dotted with centuries-old homes, mansions, and lighthouses, each with its own secrets. Among the most legendary haunted sites is the White Horse Tavern, America's oldest operating tavern, dating back to 1673. The tavern once served British soldiers and local patriots, and over the years, it saw its share of drama. Today, guests report strange footsteps upstairs, chairs moving by themselves, and even a ghostly man in colonial dress appearing near the fireplace. Some say he's a soldier who never got to finish his drink or his story. Further up the coast, the Belcourt Castle has tales of haunted armor and antique furniture that seem to carry their own memories. Visitors describe feeling watched and hearing soft whispers in otherwise silent rooms. The sea breeze here carries more than salt. It may carry echoes of the past. Newport's charm draws thousands of visitors, but it's the town's mysterious side that lingers long after the tour ends. With each creaking floorboard and chilly gust, it's easy to wonder, are these spirits just passing through, or have they made Newport their eternal home? Number 10. Point Lookout Lighthouse, Maryland. On the southern tip of Maryland, where the Potomac River meets the Chesapeake Bay, stands the Point Lookout Lighthouse. Built in 1830, this lighthouse once guided ships safely through rough waters. But long before it became a beacon for sailors, the area was home to a Civil War prison camp. Over 4,000 Confederate soldiers died there, and some believe their spirits never left. The lighthouse keeper's quarters have seen strange happenings for decades. Doors slam shut with no breeze, footsteps echo through empty halls, and the scent of pipe smoke fills rooms where no one's smoking. One keeper reported hearing a man sobbing in the basement, while another claimed to see a woman in 19th century clothing walking through locked doors. Many say the most active ghost is Ann Davis, one of the lighthouse's earliest caretakers. Dressed in a long skirt and shawl, she's often seen near the stairs, silently gliding past startled visitors. paranormal investigators have caught eerie voices on tape, whispers saying, "Help me," or "Get out." Yet despite the fear it brings, the lighthouse remains a place of fascination. Today, Point Lookout stands weathered but proud, still shining light out to sea. But beneath its historic charm lies a darker past. Number 11. Key West, Florida. Key West is known for its warm beaches, pastel homes, and colorful sunsets, but it also harbors a spookier side. With a past filled with pirates, shipwrecks, and voodoo lore, the island has collected more than just seashells. Its most famous haunted resident? A doll named Robert, who lives in a glass case at the East Martello Museum. Robert once belonged to a young boy named Eugene Otto in the early 1900s. But soon after the doll arrived, strange things began happening. Eugene blamed Robert for broken toys and creepy whispers. As he grew older, he kept the doll, giving it its own seat at the dinner table and even its own room. Neighbors swore they saw Robert move on his own and peer out the window when no one was home. After Eugene's death, the new owners of the house claimed Robert was still causing mischief, moving from room to room, knocking things over, and even giggling in the night. Today, visitors to the museum are told to ask Robert's permission before taking his picture. Those who don't, some report car trouble, broken phones, and even injuries soon after. While Key West may look like paradise, it's clear that some stories here are far from sunny. Whether it's cursed dolls or haunted old homes, the island proves that even in a place full of light, shadows are never far behind. Number 12. Seguin Island, Maine. Off the rocky coast of Maine sits Seguin Island, home to one of the state's oldest and most haunted lighthouses. Built in 1795, the Seguin Island Lighthouse has helped guide sailors through thick fog and crashing waves for centuries. But behind its bright beam lies a tale that still chills visitors to this day. The legend begins with a lighthouse keeper and his young wife. Isolated on the island with little to do, the wife grew bored and restless. To help ease her loneliness, the keeper brought her a piano.
I can hear that song in the wind now.
But she only knew one song, and she played it over and over again. Driven mad by the constant repetition, the keeper is said to have destroyed the piano, and then took a tragic turn no one saw coming. Since then, visitors have reported hearing piano music drifting through the air, even though there's no piano in the lighthouse today. Some say the keeper's ghost still walks the tower, lantern in hand, watching the sea as if still on duty. Others tell of doors slamming shut and tools vanishing, only to reappear in strange places later on. Seguin Island may be small, but its legend is larger than life. With fog swirling in and the wind howling through the cliffs, it's not hard to imagine ghostly music playing in the distance.
If you enjoy this video, please click the like button.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
See you in the next one.